My amp unit! We took a little bit of a voyage the last 36 hours. If you guys are over on my Instagram, you may know what I'm talking about and where I've been. But we're back in action now. Now, I realize we're just a few hours away from Monday Night Raw, so I'm not going to put out any elaborate video to take up too much of your guys' time. But I did want to give you guys an informative or some informative content, so I figured why not do an injury report of WWE superstars, right? We haven't done one of these in a long time. These are some superstars you may have forgotten, you haven't even seen in a while, or superstars you didn't even know were injured. Like my first individual I'm going to go over, Ruby Riot. I had so many people asking me, BC, where's Ruby? Is Ruby okay? What's going on with Ruby Riot? And guys, when she got this initial injury, I made a video about it and what was to come in the timetable of her return. A lot of you guys seem to have missed that, and that's why I always say, you gotta catch all the videos. It's like Pokemon. When it comes to a BC video, you gotta catch them all. But a lot of you guys missed that video, evidently, because I've been getting so many people asking me about Ruby. Guys, Ruby Riot absolutely had a shoulder injury. Bad enough, severe enough, where she needed shoulder surgery back in May. Then, the first part of that was successful, the initial shoulder surgery. But then we heard she was going to need surgery on her other shoulder as well. Now, this was sort of confirmed by Ruby Riot herself when she posted back in May after that initial surgery. It was a picture of herself in her hospital bed, and the caption read, "One down, one to go." So we were initially hearing she was going to need another surgery, and then Ruby herself captioned her hospital bed photo with "one down, one to go." So that led us to believe that indeed she had two surgeries. As if one wasn't bad enough, try getting two surgeries in one little time frame, man. It's no secret or shocker that you will not be seeing Ruby Riot. She is not expected back anytime this year. So you will not be seeing Ruby Riot in 2019, unfortunately. The earliest we'd most likely be seeing her, if, and the key word there is if, rehab goes well, like flawless, you would be seeing her in the Women's Royal Rumble match, January 2020. And again, that's a big if. We're talking about double surgery here. So that's the status on Ruby Riot. She had two surgeries, and we do not expect her at all in any wrestling capacity to be seen in WWE in 2019. We will hopefully be seeing her in 2020 early, and hopefully by Royal Rumble, man. That'll be a pretty cool surprise. The big question here is, do you reunite her with the Riot Squad, or do you have her come in as a singles competitor, right? They're already kind of broken up. Do you keep them that way? As a singles competitor, I honestly believe Ruby Riot has what it takes. If you tell me Ruby Riot, we're putting her into the ocean, we're going to see if she sinks or swims, I think Ruby swims flawlessly. I think she's a great swimmer. That's what I would say. Because I think she has the presence. I think on the mic, we've already seen little bits and pieces of brilliance when Vince does give her the mic. As far as wrestling skill, we have seen that she can go in the ring, NXT to the main roster. So why not give her a real chance? Every time Vince gave her a little bit of momentum, she shows you she can hit it out of the park. I think there's more to Ruby than meets the eye, and she's more than just a sleeper. More than just one of Vince's jobbers. Does Vince give her a real chance? Remains to be seen. But I personally believe she should come back, singles run, no Riot Squad reunion, because the Riot Squad never landed. I understand they had a little bit of a fan base that really liked them. Oh, I love the Riot Squad. And that's cute, cuddly, and adorable. But for the larger portion of the audience, when you really broaden it out, the Riot Squad didn't do anything for anyone. It didn't really elevate anybody, and especially didn't elevate Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, or Ruby Riot. We saw that drastically when they remained jobbers throughout. So I don't see any reason at all to put them back together. I see Ruby Riot coming back in 2020 and showing the world who the fuck Ruby Riot is. My personal belief. What do you guys think? Would you like to see her reform the Riot Squad when she comes back and see more six-man tag matches, or would you like to see Ruby on her own? Let me know down below. Up next, I want to cover Sheamus. Sheamus suffered a concussion on the post-WrestleMania SmackDown and hasn't been seen since. Now, that doesn't mean he hasn't been busy since, though. He has been keeping up on his Celtic Warrior workouts right here on YouTube, on his channel. And also, shot some scenes for a WWE movie upcoming titled The Main Event. As far as coming back to the ring, he has been officially cleared for a return to action. And he is expected to return at SummerSlam or the post-Raw or SmackDown of SummerSlam. So 2 big pieces of news there. Sheamus has been cleared to return to the ring. And 2, we're hearing as early as SummerSlam. Vince could have him hold off to Raw or SmackDown after SummerSlam. But right around that SummerSlam time frame, Sheamus will be returning. Do you have him come back and kind of take out Cesaro? You know, do you have him interfere in like an Aleister Black Cesaro match? SummerSlam base, something like that could be cool, man, even though we've seen Cesaro and Sheamus a million times. Do we really need to see it again? Or is that just like another Seth Rollins, Dolph Ziggler type of match? We've seen it a million times. There's nothing more we need to see. I don't know. I don't have the answer in that. You know, I don't see what else you would bring Sheamus back for. If you don't have anything for him, he is going to fall right back into obscurity. Sheamus will be irrelevant 2 weeks after he returns if Vince McMahon doesn't have anything for him. And that includes just a rehashed Cesaro feud. So I guess I'm answering my own question. Do we need to see Cesaro and Sheamus? Absolutely not. If you're gonna do it, it better be literally done within a month and get on with it. Because Sheamus needs to have something to go full throttle with. Otherwise, this guy is just another jobber on an already jobbed out roster. 90% of that roster is nothing but jobbers. And that's tragic because that roster is the best roster WWE has ever had. Arguably, right? I mean, some people would say the Benoit and Eddie Guerrero fucking roster with Cena and Brock Lesnar in his prime. I guess was Brock really ever in his prime? His mind was never in it, but you could say that was the best roster. You could say the Attitude Era was the best roster with The Rock and Austin and Triple H, Undertaker in his prime. But when you talk skill level, there's no way any roster in the past can spar it up with these motherfuckers today, men and women. The roster WWE has today, skill-wise, in the ring, move for move, this roster is dynamite. Nobody can light a candle to them. Now, if you're talking microphone, charisma, personality, yeah, the Attitude Era, even ruthless aggression. But when it comes to move for move, man, this roster could be showing you shit you've never seen before. Vince just has to take the handcuffs and the shackles off. You know? And Sheamus has a couple of good years left. Give him something. Otherwise, none of us are going to give a shit about Sheamus. That's the truth, guys. Now, I kind of went off in left field here. This is just supposed to be about the injury report, and I'm telling you guys how people should be booked when they come back. I apologize. I'll try to go a little quicker here. I know Raw's coming quick. Tommaso Ciampa is another guy who was out since February with a severe neck injury. After successful anterior cervical fusion surgery, he was given a 6 to 9 month recovery and rehab period. If everything went damn near perfect, Tommaso was originally slated for a return around Survivor Series. But new reports indicate that he could return post-SummerSlam because his rehab process is going so flawlessly. So that would be fucking immaculate, guys, if he did come back post-SummerSlam this August. And to start a program with who? Do you have him come up NXT to get his NXT championship that he never dropped? Do you have him go to the main roster, which is what he was being poised to do before he got injured? That's a huge question. Should he come back right after SummerSlam this year, and he's already coming back months before we previously expected him to come back, do you have him go to NXT and get back what he rightfully never lost, what he rightfully should have another shot at, that NXT championship? Or do you have him do what they were poising him to do, what they were setting him up for from the beginning when he had that title? Drop it and then go over to the main roster. Do you have Tommaso just show up? But the same thing would... If I'm going to say that about Sheamus, Vince better have something for Sheamus when he comes back other than just be another jobber, 50-50 booked. The same thing would be for Tommaso, even more dramatically for Tommaso. You better really have something for Tommaso if you're bringing him to the main roster. Because this was an NXT champion that had to drop that in a vacant way because of an injury. Never really lost that title. If you're going to put him on the main roster, you can use that as fuel to the fire and really make Tommaso an entity. And not just a 50-50 booked bum. So Vince has some deciding to do. You know he's got the overall word, and if Triple H really wants Tommaso and Vince really says no, it's his time, Triple H is going to have to give Vince McMahon Tommaso Ciampa. It's the bottom line, man. But his anterior cervical fusion surgery was deemed a success. He was given 6 to 9 months. We thought Survivor Series would be the earliest. They're already talking about August as a return. That remains to be seen. I'm just telling you guys what we're hearing, man. That is a fast recovery for Tommaso, and especially that type of severe neck injury. Mickie James is up next. James suffered a knee injury at a live event in Texas on June 1st while wrestling Carmella. Now, this injury unfortunately did require surgery, but here's the astonishing note here. This was the first significant surgery in Mickie James's career. Could you imagine wrestling damn near 20 years doing this pro wrestling thing, and your first major surgery comes when you're near 40 years old at the tail end of your career? That is astonishing to even think about. And that shows you what a true professional and just someone who's just really good at what they do, like Mickie James. That's Mickie James in a nutshell. A true professional and just really good at what she does. Surgery was a success on that knee. Mickie was given 7 to 9 months of rehab and recovery before pitting her return, if all goes flawless, at WrestleMania 36 in Tampa. That would be the earliest we're probably going to see Mickie James. Now here's the thing of note to kind of take inventory of. Mickie James posted herself the word if she returns to pro wrestling, leading many to speculate if she'd even come back at all. You're talking about somebody who's turning 40 years old August 31st. You're talking about somebody who's a mother. She's done it all in the business. She has other means of income. She doesn't just do pro wrestling. This is someone who, if she comes back, it's only for the sheer love of the business and the sheer passion she has for it. That's the only way you're going to see Mickie James back. She does not need to come back to that grueling schedule at 40 years of age and a mother, done it all, other means of income, and she's going to go back onto that road life. No, it's only going to be because of the passion she has for the business and wanting to entertain and just knowing she still has more to offer. And I know for a fact Mickie James still has more to offer. That's the best part. There's still so many dream matches I would love to see with Mickie James. And if James comes back, those 617 uncreative writers, along with Vincent Kennedy McMahon, they better have something of substance for Mickie James. I don't want to just see Mickie. We need to fucking see her in some big time, huge, substantial matchups and programs. I'm not kidding around, man. Mickie James has so much to offer. Can't be seeing her just a bum around catering. That's not Mickie James. She's too valuable to this business still. At the age of 40, August 31st, she's still going to be one of the top 10 female wrestlers in the world to the Amplified, man. And that's saying something. Because you can easily pick out 10 of the best in the world when it comes to that female division. From New Japan to right down in ROH to fucking here in WWE to the independent scenes down at the local bingo hall. But for me to say Mickie James is one in my top 10, that shows you this girl has it. Vince has to know who he has under his umbrella. And that seems to be a running theme for that company. They just don't give a shit, or they don't realize how good these motherfuckers still are. Anyway, I hope she does come back, man. Because like I said, I want to see a lot more Mickie James. Not just see her, but I want to fucking see her in major, substantial matchups and programs. Nia Jax is up next. She had double ACL surgery. That is no small task for any female. But when you look at somebody the size of Nia Jax, a double ACL surgery will knock you on your fucking ass for a long, long time. But no, Nia's a beast. Nia already posted that just 3 months post-surgery, she's already been cleared for agility drills and light jogging. So that is awesome to hear. Now, the unfortunate news here for Nia, and again, this is whether you think this is great news or not, I know a lot of people don't want to see Nia come back, but whether you love her or not, the bottom line is you never want to see one of our entertainers get injured. So in that aspect, I will say, unfortunately, you're not going to see Nia Jax anytime this year. Even though she's been cleared for agility drills and light jogging, and she's doing a lot of mobility testing now, and it's going good, You will not see Nia Jax in 2019. The earliest you're going to see Nia Jax is Royal Rumble of 2020. The double ACL injury is something you cannot take too lightly. And no matter how good they may seem like they're doing, you have to put protocol first. And there's no way. I have a lot of people that are close to me in the medical field. And they said there's no way she can possibly be cleared for 2019. Not with a double ACL. Not the way that it's... not the way that it's portrayed to them. There's no way. So early 2020, you'll be seeing Nia Jax come back. Now, just like everyone else, it seems like I'm a broken record. Vince better have something. Because if it's the same old Nia, just like Sheamus, we're going to get old and it's going to seem redundant. It's going to be old. It's going to be stale right off the bat. Nobody is going to be wanting to see Nia Jax in the same type of way she's been utilized in the past several years. Nobody. And then you're going to get all of those harsh boos and harsh calls and social media blasts. You're going to get it all because nobody's going to want to see her for rightfully so reasons, man. You can't blame them. Nia Jax has not shown vast improvement. When she comes back, she needs to be a fucking beast. And we gotta fucking care. How are you going to make us care? That's your job, Vince. You're on the clock, starting now. That's the update on Nia Jax. Do I have anything else? I know I'm running I wanted this video to be 10 minutes. I started getting all fucking amplified on how people should be used coming back. I apologize. So I'll do a little bit of some quick hits right here before I end the video. Some other injuries and things of note. People of note, I should say. They're not things. Jinder Mahal, he has a ruptured patella tendon. His return is up in the air right now. It's unknown. They think Survivor Series, but they don't know. We don't know. They is we. We don't know how his rehab is actually going. There's not too many details around it. So right now I feel best just saying it's unknown. It's up in the air, Jinder Mahal's status. Lar Sullivan has a knee injury, obviously. He's set for a November return, which means most likely you're going to be seeing Lar Sullivan at Survivor Series. Jeff Hardy also has a knee injury. His return, just like Jinder Mahal, is unknown. However, not so much for the rehab process. His status is unknown because of his recent arrest as well. We heard that's where Vince McMahon kind of wanted a little bit of separation, and a lot of details kind of fell by the wayside after that arrest. We started hearing less and less about Jeff Hardy and his recovery. So we don't know when his return is, if he even is going to return. Jason Jordan, he obviously had that same neck injury. Unfortunately, we can all but confirm now that it looks like his in-ring career is indeed over. It does not look like Jason Jordan will ever be returning to the ring, unfortunately. You never want to hear that type of shit. Sin Cara also has a knee injury that is up in the air. We don't know his timetable, and I gotta be honest with you, I didn't even care to check. It's Sin Cara. Is Sin Cara gonna come back right when Lar Sullivan does, and we're just gonna get another Lucha Summer College House Party versus Lar Sullivan in a handicap match? Please, sign me up for a big sleep snore fest session, if that ever happens. The Amplified, man. Monday Night Raw in a few hours. That's your injury report. Hopefully that filled you guys in on some of the superstars you haven't seen in a while. Some of them you're probably okay with not seeing for a little bit longer. You want them to get better, but you're okay with them not being on TV. And some of those superstars, maybe you guys are fucking waiting to come back, and you can't wait to see them come back and kill it again in the ring. In the eye of the beholder, let me know what you guys think down below. The Amplified Man has some errands to do, but I will be catching Raw tonight, so hopefully I'll be live tweeting with you guys. Is that what it's called? Who the fuck knows what you kids call it? The Amplified Man. Ow! Check you later.